there's one region that's been struggling non-stop, and it's really quite sad. And Brazil, unfortunately, is 0-9.
I don't want to overreact. Like, they don't need a roster move. They don't need the. And I also don't see who you're replacing QCK with.
Put Tui's on Julius, Pancada on Smokes.
The fact that he knows this team is not going to do well right now. He must do. Like, they have barely had any time to practice. They're having to change all of their comps. They got stuck in Belfast for ages. And he comes back and almost immediately on his stream says, I'm actually giving all the power to the coaches for this stage.
Yeah,
it's their responsibility this time. Judge me not.
O mercado noturno está ativo no Valorant, e se diferente de mim você teve alguma sorte e vê alguma skin que você quer, eu vou te passar a cal para você comprar essa skin com mais desconto ainda. Te apresento o Rei dos Coins. Lá você pode personalizar o valor ideal para o seu Valorant Points, o valor que você tá precisando para comprar aquela skin, e ainda ganhar cashback em cima desse valor. Não perde tempo e acesse o reidoscoins.com.br. Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? O Brasil vive uma das suas piores fases no Valorant. Nesse primeiro split do West Américas, as equipes brasileiras somam 9 derrotas em 9 partidas, com apenas 2 mapas ganhos nessas 9 partidas. E recentemente teve mais um episódio do Play Chat, podcast que é composto por casters do NA. E eles opinaram sobre toda essa situação que o Brasil tá passando e separamos aqui para conferirmos. Mas antes da gente ver, peço que você deixe aquele like nesse vídeo e confira se tá inscrito aqui no canal. É algo bem rápido para você, mas que ajuda demais o nosso trampo.
There's one region that's been struggling non-stop, and it's really quite sad. And Brazil, unfortunately, is 0-9. I don't know why I'm getting all quiet to talk about Brazil. Maybe because it's it feels like the death of the region or something. I don't know. Yeah. They're struggling quite a bit there, and there's multiple theories running around. To be honest, one of them being that like some of these teams, Furia, maybe I don't know, they're just happy to just phone it in at this point because they realize, well, it takes 50 years for a visa to get in, probably not going to get replaced anytime soon, might as well just play out the season. Loud having a really poor beginning to the split, obviously having to come back straight from Madrid, stuck in Ireland, get no practice, get no time to prep, get no rest. And in case of some of these other teams, it's like once you start losing, once you start slipping, where do you grab onto the rock face to try and stop the slide here? Because it's very difficult for them, especially at this point when they just realize, well, it's pretty much over in terms of making playoffs in Split 1. But I don't know, these teams look like the passion's gone when I watch some of them. I think that you watch the players, they're just not getting fired up. They lose a map, it's just like, I don't know, they're just kind of going through the motions. It doesn't look like the desire is there to even be there sometimes when I'm watching them.
The Furia game, that's
my
what
God.
I felt. Dude, the Furia game, I felt like the players wanted to be home or something, man. They were done. They were literally just like, I want this to end. Like, I'm watching them on Lotus just literally just
swing,
run at people. Like, if you want to make it really obvious, man,
run.
just get your knife out. Like, let's make it real obvious. You might as well have. Like, I could tell none of them wanted to be there. It's just so done. And then I'm just seeing them run at them one by one, just different parts of the map. It's just like, yeah, they're just morale is just done.
Yeah.
This team,
I mean, Killjoy is always swinging out C.
I can't understand this team because on paper
Way
you're
out.
actually like, hold up, this team's not too bad if you look at all their individual peaks, and then they're just doing this where it's just like, nope, we don't want to be. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Then
Brazil has always
MIBRs.
been a one-team region, right? It's never
Yeah,
had
that's
two
true.
good teams.
Yeah,
ever.
it's always been one team.
I mean, for a
And-
brief moment, Furia were good at the start.
For
last
week
year.
one, week 2 last year. Yeah, keep living up the glory days of Khalil. He'll never return there by the look of what he's up to recently.
You're always on about this.
Yeah, but
that Pearl game, just that one Pearl
just
game,
that
that just
one
is,
Pearl
it really is. Yeah.
just hitting every jump peak shot, just running it
Yeah.
down on B-Long single-handedly.
yeah, he used up a life's worth of talent in 2 weeks. That's what he did. He burned through it. Now, I think Brazil has not ever really been a 2-team, 3-team region. We were always expecting there to be we were really looking at MIBR as being really bad, but in reality, this version of Furia that MW retooled, bringing in Havoc has, I think, been the biggest disappointment. But I don't think it's that surprising. What's surprising is that Loud are also struggling at the exact same time. The thing is, though, I'm not putting Loud in the same boat at all. I think MIBR and Furia rebuild the fucking thing. And please try to come from a top-down approach next year instead of giving power to the players or reutilizing the same cores. I want to see something fresh. But Loud, they're going to be good by the end of the year. It's the same shit again, man. It's Loud perform fairly well in the beginning tournament. They slump in the middle of the year while they try to figure stuff out, and then they're going to be there for the end of the year again. They're not going to make playoffs this time, but they started the year chasing a compositional archetype that didn't make sense. Sadak's fever dream has not played out, and instead it's just put them behind the other squads in terms of practice time, and they're playing catch up, and so they're just far too far behind at the moment.
Not just playing catch up from that aspect. I mean, that adds to it, but it's they didn't get any time after Madrid.
Sure.
Like once it was figured out, it was.
But they had to reset all of their comps after Madrid anyway, because those they were past the expiry date. That was some smelly cheese, you know.
Sure, yeah, but if you start pracking like on your first match day, that's like when you're starting your prac again. That doesn't help, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I don't want to overreact. Like they don't need a roster move. They don't need they just need to knuckle down and focus on stage 2.
Yeah.
I think you're being a bit too lenient, to be honest. My big worry for Loud came in the C9 Icebox game, where I have never seen Loud aim so bad. I was like, this Icebox game against C9 where they got destroyed, they couldn't even fucking shoot a Sova drone. It was that bad. And this is map 2 after they've won map 1, so it's not like they weren't warmed up or whatever, right? This is coming into a second map, and I was like, how are Loud getting absolutely mega diffed by C9 everywhere? Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I kind of somewhat continued it against the Crew as well, I think, a bit. Obviously, Crew are pretty good and have good aim, but I was a bit worried for him. I do think they do have a bit of a problem with QCK. You know, I don't think that he's a bad player, but they've played 7 maps, and he hasn't top fragged in a single one. And he hasn't come close in most of them. I think that's a problem. I think that it's a problem when your duelist is not, and it's not that he's, again, it's not that like he is the only problem. You know, there are problems where they don't set him up that well, or, you know, whatever. Like, there are multiple problems here. But I do think it's a problem. Like, when I'm watching Kesnet and Crew go into a 4v5, and Kesnet fucking just swings A on whatever and just gets 2 kills, and it's like, well done, Kesnet. You just won us the round. Good job for you. Like, it feels like Les is the one who feels like he has to do that, but he's not on the correct agent to do it, so he'll end up fucking swinging, as he did on Split. I mean, I could not believe this. He is jiggle peeking ramp, 2 people shoot at him, he hears 2 people shoot at him, he hears it, and he wide swings into 2 people with no util. I was like, I cannot believe he's just done that. I could not believe it. Is this it? Yeah, he sees 2 people shoot him, and then just wide swings them. I could not believe he does go 1 for 1, but I could not believe. I was like, well, there's no way, right?
But I think give a bit more time, and once the team has more confidence in the overall team play, getting them results, they won't feel incentivized to go for stuff like this. And I also don't see who you're replacing QCK with.
Put Tui's on Duelist, Pancada on Smokes.
Yeah, to be duelist, right?
They could try that, but I think Tui's is one of the weakest riflers on the team from what he's been doing recently.
What really gets rewarded is knuckling down with a simple game plan and hard aimers and confidence in your aim and confidence in team play. And that will carry you so fucking far at the moment. And unfortunately for Loud, they're not built like that right now. QCK's not built to tango and contest and do a little dance and jig with fucking Aspas. He's not. He's not built like that. I'm sorry. He's not caked up like that. It's just not the case. There's a reason they were leaning into fucking Phoenix comps. It's going to take them a bit of time. I'm not losing confidence right now. I just think that map pool change will probably suit a lot of these teams better if fucking either Icebox or Breeze gets taken out. Because those are the 2 big sticking points for me right now with a lot of these teams. And I think just giving them more time on the back end of it. It's a stage 2 thing. They've got to look forward to stage 2. I'm not losing hope yet for Loud, because we've doubted them before and they've always just fucking thrown pie in our faces. So
one of the funniest things about this entire situation is, I mean, Sadak should start a PR firm. Sadak has, I mean, he should start a PR firm, but also all the fans hate him at the moment. But let me frame it this way: the fact that he knows this team is not going to do well right now. He must do. Like, They have barely had any time to practice. They're having to change all of their comps. They got stuck in Belfast for ages. And he comes back and almost immediately on his stream says, I'm actually giving all the power to the coaches for this stage.
Yeah, it is.
It's their responsibility this time. Judge me not. Judge the coaches for this split of performance. So he's actually just foisted the responsibility over onto them. I'm sure it's true, but it doesn't mean that they have the same like chance of success that they did at the beginning of the year, because everyone's.
I think it's wild. I think it's wild. But in the time when you're on the team, you would never throw them under the bus. And to throw them under the bus like this is crazy.
I mean, if they lose to Sen, they can't qualify for playoffs. So
this game will really matter for G2 as well, I think.
It probably will in the grand scheme of things.
They're all really
and
big.
Sen. This game really matters for Sen as well. They have to win pretty much.
Yeah.